Hello and welcome to the Vrystaat Kunstefees. I'm Antony Dobson, and today in studio we are joined by Nosana Sondiyazi. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks so much for having me, Mark.
Now, Nosana, you have a show at the festival's new Fringe program. A very interesting show, if I look at the title, Sex Talk.
Yes, Sex Talk.
Could you please tell us more about the show and what inspired you to do it?
Sex Talk is a show about sex. I host it. And we normally theme it with different special guests in terms of what their sexual expertise is. We haven't had sex workers or porn stars or anything like that. Most of the time it's activists, human rights, sort of special guests. When I first did the first Sex Talk, I researched the history of sex in different ancient cultures. Mm-hmm. And the previous one, which was an LGBTQI Sex Talk, got a little bit more momentum than the straight sex talk. So we're going full blown with this one, and we are highlighting human rights issues in the LGBTQI community.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think it is an easy thing to do in a town or city like Bloemfontein?
I think it should be. I think we're all here because people had sex.
Yeah, indeed.
Our parents are not virgins, so...
even though we would like to think they are.
None of us can imagine our parents doing it. But at the end of the day, the last sex talk in fact, I've had 2 other sex talks here in Bloemfontein. And I'm always surprised how open people are. And I think it's because of the wine that we drink.
Oh.
That lubricates a lot of throats and mouths. And I think that's why people... And in fact, people don't have to have sex. They just have to talk about it. And I think it prepares them for a more responsible sexual experience, actually.
Do you think it's important for people to be more open about their sex lives to get rid of certain taboos?
I think if people aren't open, then sex becomes a very dangerous place because it's hidden and it's secretive, and then it's harmful because people don't know how to be comfortable. And then if you're not comfortable, then you find yourself in situations that you shouldn't be in because you don't know any better. So I think, yes, people should be more open, especially about the things that make them most uncomfortable, because then that's when even harmful things could come out and, people can get arrested and things like that.
Yeah. You have a blog, Physical Divine.
Yes.
Can you please tell us more about that?
I started the blog 2011, Physical Divine, and basically I just interview people that I find interesting. Artists, thinkers, interesting world citizens from all over the world. And I just asked them, what does physical divine mean to them? When I first started Physical Divine, I didn't even explain what it meant, because the 2 words, the physical and the divine, are opposites, actually.
Yes.
So I'm always trying to mix 2 worlds that don't normally mix, whether it's life and death, black and white, male and female, different races, different ages. And I feel like there's a gray area where we all meet and there's a common understanding.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you are very much focused on educating people about their physicality.
I feel like I'm the one that's been educated, actually. What I do is, if I don't know something, I go and find out. And if people are interested in that topic, then they find out what I just found out. So I would not call myself an educator.
More like an explorer.
I am an explorer. But if the information gives you education, then great, then it's my pleasure.
Awesome. Now, the show at the Fringe, when is it happening?
It's happening this weekend, Friday nights, Saturday nights.
And it's also followed by a pink party, if I'm not
On Friday
mistaken.
nights, it's just a sex talk between 7 and 9. And it'll probably be just between 7 and 8, but then there's usually an open table discussion afterwards where I bring words. As you come in, you'll come in and you'll get your lube and your condom and your sex information and a glass of wine and a word.
Yes.
And this word could be a word that you've never heard before, or a word that you know about. And then people that come, they get to discuss this word, whether it's virginity or masturbation or culture or love.
Right.
And then that's normally the fun part of the evening, because people have heard from the special guests, they're curious about each other. But also, I just really like to highlight it's a very safe space. There's lots of respect that needs to be there. It's not a naming and shaming sort of area. It's the kind of place where people can be comfortable and get to know each other. On the second night, the last night, it's Saturday night, we have a pink party There's going to be pink balloons. There's going to be a very pink, friendly, gay atmosphere. And also the asexual are invited.
Awesome.
So it's not just for people with strong sex habits. It's just for people, because we're all sexual beings, you know?
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Where can we find you on social media?
On my Twitter handle is @PhysicalDivine.
Yes.
On Facebook, I have a like page, which is Physical Divine. I am Kanisa on Facebook. I've got a little bit of an alias there.
Oh.
I've got 2 Facebook accounts. My other one is Sana On. I accept a lot more friends there.
All right.
Yes, and the profile picture is me with 2 mannequins. I'm kind of having a menage a trois with a crotch of a man and the boobs of a female. You can't miss me. It's a black and white image.
I think a relationship with a mannequin is perfect, you know.
It's the safest one, don't you think?
They're
No one can
always
get
quiet,
pregnant.
they're always there when you need them, and they're always hot.
It is, yes, they are. That's right.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
Nosana
Thank you.
Sondiyazi, please don't miss Sex Talk at this year's festival. Fringe. Bye.